Welcome to my channel World of Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history, and the 1975 penny carries a story that collectors find especially intriguing. While to most people it may look like just another piece of copper-colored change, its hidden value can surprise even the most experienced numismatists. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic figure. By 1975, the coin had already been circulating for more than 6 decades, but its design remained timeless. Lincoln's profile, facing right, dominates the obverse, a constant reminder of one of America's most revered presidents. Above his portrait, the word "Liberty" is boldly inscribed. To the right of Lincoln's face rests the date, 1975, a simple marking that tells the coin's age but also holds great significance for collectors. The phrase, "In God We Trust," crowns the obverse. This motto, present since 1909 on the cent, symbolizes America's values and remains a strong element of the design. The reverse of the 1975 Lincoln cent showcases the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This design, introduced in 1959, replaced the original wheat ears reverse. The memorial design honors both Lincoln's legacy and the American ideals of unity and strength. If you look closely at the reverse, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an incredible detail for such a small coin. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions, "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent. The 1975 penny was struck in 2 different compositions. Most were made of a bronze alloy, which is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. These coins have a warm, reddish-brown appearance that collectors love. However, some late 1970s cents began transitioning toward a copper-plated zinc composition, which became standard in 1982. This makes the bronze 1975 penny one of the last in a proud era of copper-rich coinage. The Philadelphia and Denver mints both struck 1975 pennies for circulation. The San Francisco Mint produced proof versions, which were included in annual collector sets. Each mint mark tells its own story. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver pennies feature a small D below the date, and proof coins from San Francisco show an S. For collectors, these mint marks are critical details. Proof coins from 1975 stand out because of their sharp strikes and reflective surfaces. These coins were never intended for circulation and instead were crafted with extra care for collectors. Some proof coins even exhibit a cameo or deep cameo effect, where the frosted design contrasts beautifully against a mirror-like background. These are highly prized in the numismatic world. Errors also add value to the 1975 penny. Examples include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets. These mistakes from the minting process make each coin unique and can command high prices. Among these, double dies are especially sought after. Collectors carefully examine the date, lettering, and Lincoln's portrait for signs of doubling, which can transform an ordinary penny into a rare treasure. Another factor that makes 1975 pennies interesting is their condition. Most circulated examples are worn and worth only face value. But high-grade coins, particularly those in mint state, are much rarer and far more valuable. The grading scale runs from 1 to 70, with 70 representing perfection. A 1975 penny graded MS-67 or higher is a remarkable find and highly sought after by collectors. Luster, color, and strike quality all play an important role in determining a coin's grade. A bright, reddish uncirculated penny with sharp details can fetch many times more than a dull, brown example. Auction records show that top-graded 1975 pennies can bring in astonishing amounts. When condition and rarity align, even a common 1-cent coin can become worth thousands. The 1975 penny is also fascinating because of its historical context. America was celebrating its bicentennial just 1 year later, and coin collecting was surging in popularity at that time. This was an era of change in U.S. coinage, with mints experimenting with compositions and preparing for future designs. The 1975 penny stands at the crossroads of tradition and transition. For new collectors, the 1975 Lincoln cent is a perfect starting point. It is easy to find in circulation but still offers plenty of variety and mystery for those who look deeper. For seasoned numismatists, the challenge lies in discovering rare errors, top grades, or proof varieties that elevate the coin far above its humble 1-cent denomination. The Lincoln penny has always been more than just money. It is a tribute to Abraham Lincoln's legacy, a tiny piece of art, and a slice of American history that fits in the palm of your hand. The 1975 edition carries forward this tradition, representing both continuity and change. Its classic design ensures it remains instantly recognizable while also holding hidden surprises for collectors. Every coin tells a story, and the 1975 Lincoln penny tells one of history, artistry, and unexpected value. It reminds us that even the smallest things can have great worth. So the next time you see a 1975 penny in your change, take a closer look. It might not just be a cent, it could be a piece of history, or even a rare collector's gem. And while most 1975 Lincoln pennies are worth only a penny, the finest and rarest examples have been valued as high as $115,000. Top 2. The Lincoln penny is one of the longest-running coins in American history, and the 1980 edition adds another interesting chapter to its legacy. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary copper-colored coin, but a closer look reveals fascinating details that collectors cherish. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic figure. By 1980, the Lincoln penny had already circulated for more than 70 years. Its design remained largely unchanged, but each new year carried its own story, mint marks, and potential rarities. On the obverse of the 1980 penny, Abraham Lincoln's right-facing portrait dominates the design. His profile is detailed, showing his deep-set eyes, beard, and dignified expression. Above Lincoln's head rests the motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has long been a staple of American coinage. To the left of his portrait, the word "Liberty" is boldly inscribed. To the right side of the coin appears the date 1980. Just beneath it sits the mint mark, which could be D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia issues. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the earlier wheat ears reverse. It not only honors Lincoln's memory but also captures a national monument that represents unity and freedom. A tiny detail on the reverse makes this coin extra special. If you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial, you can see a small engraving of the seated Lincoln statue inside. It is one of the finest examples of miniature detail in coin design. The inscriptions complete the design. United States of America, arcs along the top, E pluribus unum, sits just above the memorial, and 1 cent boldly claims the denomination at the bottom. In 1980, Lincoln cents were struck from a bronze composition, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This made them heavier and richer in color than the copper-plated zinc pennies introduced later in 1982. Because of their copper content, these pennies also carry a small amount of intrinsic metal value. However, for collectors, the true worth lies in rarity, condition, and unique varieties. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the bulk of the 1980 pennies, while San Francisco struck proof coins for collector sets. Each mint mark carries importance when identifying the coin. Proof coins from San Francisco are particularly admired. These were made with polished planchets and specially prepared dies, resulting in mirror-like backgrounds and frosted details. Many collectors search for deep cameo proofs from this year. Errors and varieties from 1980 also make this penny fascinating. Double die obverse coins, off-center strikes, die cracks, and repunched mint marks are all possibilities that add significant value. For example, a double die showing on the date or the word "Liberty" can turn a common coin into a sought-after rarity. Collectors prize these unusual mistakes because they are so distinctive. High-grade mint state examples of the 1980 penny are surprisingly difficult to find. Billions were made, but circulation quickly wore down most of them, leaving very few in pristine condition. coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, with MS-70 being perfect. A 1980 penny graded MS-67 or higher is a treasure for any collector and can sell for impressive amounts at auction. Luster, strike, and color all play important roles in grading. Collectors especially value pennies with full red color, since copper coins tend to darken or tone over time. The challenge of finding a full red, flawless 1980 penny makes it all the more desirable. For many, it represents the thrill of the hunt within coin collecting. The proof coins also carry strong demand, particularly those that are free of imperfections and display deep cameo contrast. Their beauty makes them prized additions to proof sets. For new collectors, the 1980 penny offers an affordable entry point. It can still be found in circulation, yet it holds the potential to surprise in higher grades and error varieties. For seasoned numismatists, the year offers excitement through the chase of rare examples. Whether it's a top-graded mint state coin or a scarce double die, the 1980 penny has layers of value waiting to be uncovered. The Lincoln cent itself carries deep meaning in American culture. Beyond its monetary use, it symbolizes the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and his place in the nation's history. By 1980, this design had already endured for more than 2 decades in its memorial form, reminding every person who used it of Lincoln's contributions and ideals. Every penny tells a story, and the 1980 issue is no exception. It represents a year in American history, a time in coin production, and the enduring spirit of a nation. Collectors see more than just a coin. They see a piece of art, a fragment of history, and sometimes, a rare treasure worth far more than its face value. Auction results have proven time and again that the right 1980 penny can command remarkable prices. The right combination of rarity and condition makes all the difference. So the next time you spot a 1980 penny in your change, look carefully. What may seem ordinary at first could be a hidden gem worth far more than 1 cent. And while most 1980 Lincoln 1-cent pennies remain common, the rarest and finest examples have been valued as high as $90,000. Top 3. The Lincoln cent has long been the most familiar coin in American pockets, and the 1985 edition holds a special place for collectors and enthusiasts alike. At first glance, this penny may appear ordinary, but the deeper you look, the more fascinating its story becomes. When the United States Mint produced the Lincoln cent in 1985, it was already one of the most enduring coin designs in the nation's history. Abraham Lincoln's portrait had been on the penny since 1909, and by this time, generations had grown up seeing his face on their smallest denomination coin. The design by Victor David Brenner remains timeless. The obverse of the 1985 penny displays Lincoln's right-facing profile. His thoughtful expression, carefully detailed hair, and distinct beard highlight the artistry of the engraver. Above Lincoln's head, the motto, "In God We Trust," appears in bold lettering. To the left of his profile is the word "Liberty," while to the right is the date, 1985. Depending on the mint, a small letter appears beneath the date to indicate the mint facility. In that year, coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Philadelphia coins show no mint mark, Denver coins carry a small D, and San Francisco coins bear an S, usually as proof strikes. Turning the coin over, the reverse still shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This iconic building serves as a tribute to the president's enduring legacy. Above the memorial is the inscription, "United States of America." Just below that, the traditional motto, "E pluribus unum," appears, reminding us of unity in diversity. At the bottom, the denomination is clearly spelled out as 1 cent. A small but fascinating detail on the reverse is the tiny statue of Lincoln that can be seen inside the memorial. This makes the penny one of the few U.S. coins to feature the same person on both sides. The composition of the 1985 penny reflects the shift that occurred just a few years earlier. Instead of being made from nearly solid copper, the coin consists of a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. This change was introduced in 1982 due to rising copper costs. As a result, the coin feels slightly lighter than earlier pennies. Collectors often notice the difference in weight and metallic sound when comparing copper pennies to the copper-plated zinc ones like those from 1985. Even though billions of pennies were minted in 1985, not all of them are created equal. Some carry rare minting errors, and others are preserved in such extraordinary condition that they become highly valuable to collectors. Error coins always draw attention. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and doubling can make an ordinary penny into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors are always on the lookout for such varieties from 1985. One of the most intriguing error types is the doubled die. If a 1985 penny shows doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's features, it can attract serious interest from numismatists. These unusual errors are among the most popular collectibles. Another factor influencing value is condition. A penny that has spent decades in circulation often appears worn and dull, but one that has been carefully preserved may retain its brilliant red shine and sharp details. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless specimen. For 1985 pennies, those graded MS-67 or higher are extremely rare, which makes them highly desirable. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint offer another area of interest. These were struck with specially prepared dies and polished planchets, giving them mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Collectors often pay a premium for proof examples in top grades. The 1985 penny is not just a piece of metal, it's also a symbol of the nation's history and values. Lincoln's portrait serves as a constant reminder of leadership, unity, and the sacrifices made to preserve the Union. For many collectors, the excitement of searching through rolls of pennies in hopes of finding a rare 1985 error or a coin in mint state condition is part of the joy of the hobby. Each discovery connects the finder to history. Auction records reveal that while many 1985 pennies are worth only face value, certain exceptional examples have sold for astonishing amounts. These sales prove that even the most common-seeming coins can hide treasures. The penny also reflects the technology and economy of its time. The change in metal composition during the early 1980s mirrored rising commodity prices and demonstrated the mint's effort to adapt to economic challenges. Every coin tells a story, and the 1985 penny is no exception. It represents both continuity in design and change in production methods, a blend of tradition and progress. For casual hobbyists, the 1985 penny may just be an entry point into the world of coin collecting. But for serious numismatists, it offers opportunities to hunt for rare errors, high grades, and beautiful proof examples. Even today, people often overlook the penny, but collectors know its potential. From a jar of change on a dresser to an auction floor, the 1985 cent has the ability to surprise anyone who takes the time to look closer. Lincoln's image on this coin also resonates deeply with Americans. His leadership during the Civil War and his enduring fight for equality give the coin a meaning far greater than its 1-cent denomination. For over a century, the Lincoln cent has been a canvas of American values, history, and artistic design. The 1985 issue continues that legacy while also holding hidden gems for those who seek them out. Collectors understand that rarity, condition, and demand all work together to create value. When these elements align in a coin like the 1985 penny, it becomes much more than pocket change. So the next time you come across a 1985 penny, don't dismiss it. Look carefully at its details, examine its condition, and remember that some of these coins have become treasures of the numismatic world, because in the world of rare coin collecting, even a simple penny from 1985 can be worth as much as $75,000. Top 4. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American life for over a century, and the 2001 issue adds another chapter to its long and fascinating story. Even though billions of these pennies were struck, a small number stand out as treasures in the world of coin collecting. When you hold a 2001 Lincoln cent in your hand, you're holding more than just a piece of copper-plated zinc. You're holding a symbol of tradition that has been carried on for generations. For over 90 years at that point, Lincoln's portrait had remained on the 1-cent coin. The obverse of the 2001 penny still features Victor David Brenner's classic design, first introduced in 1909. Lincoln's thoughtful profile is captured with detail, showing his beard, hair, and his calm but strong expression. At the top of the coin, the motto, "In God We Trust," arches over Lincoln's head. To the left of his profile appears the word "Liberty," while to the right is the date, 2001. Beneath the date is the mint mark, revealing where the coin was produced. In that year, pennies were struck at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint for circulation. The Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, while the Denver pieces showed a small D. Proof coins were also made in San Francisco with an S. The reverse side of the 2001 penny is just as iconic. It features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This design had been used for more than 4 decades by the time the 2001 pennies were struck. Above the memorial runs the inscription, United States of America. Just below that, you'll find the phrase, e pluribus unum, which means, out of many, one. And at the bottom is the denomination, 1 cent, spelled out proudly. Collectors love pointing out that if you look very closely inside the memorial on the reverse, you can actually see a tiny representation of Lincoln's seated statue. That detail makes the coin unique as Lincoln appears on both sides. The composition of the 2001 penny followed the same pattern set in 1982. The coins were no longer made primarily of copper but were instead a zinc core with a thin outer plating of copper. This made them lighter and more economical to produce. Although most people never notice, this change in metal composition plays a big role in coin collecting. Copper-plated zinc pennies like those from 2001 are prone to spotting, discoloration, and even corrosion, making pristine examples harder to find. Even with billions produced, collectors are always searching for unusual errors and high-grade survivors from 2001. These are the coins that separate themselves from the ordinary and reach remarkable values in the hobby. Some of the most fascinating coins are minting errors. These could include off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. When a 2001 penny shows one of these mistakes, it suddenly becomes highly collectible. Double die varieties are another type that can appear. If the date or lettering looks doubled under magnification, that coin becomes especially desirable. Such coins attract attention from both casual hobbyists and serious numismatists. Aside from errors, condition is the most important factor in determining value. Most pennies from 2001 have circulated heavily, picking up scratches, wear, and discoloration. But those saved in mint state condition tell a very different story. Grading services use a scale of 1 to 70 to judge coins. The closer a coin is to 70, the better. A 2001 penny graded MS67 or higher is extremely rare and commands strong demand when it appears at auction. Proof coins from San Francisco add another dimension to the story. These pieces were struck using polished dies and specially prepared blanks, resulting in coins with mirror-like fields and frosted details. Collectors especially love deep cameo proofs, where the contrast between the design and the background is sharp and dramatic. Finding a flawless 2001 proof penny can be just as thrilling as finding an error coin. The penny itself has a remarkable cultural meaning. Lincoln's portrait has been on this denomination for longer than any other person has appeared on an American coin. That longevity speaks volumes about his place in U.S. history. For many people, pennies are overlooked, often tossed into jars or forgotten in drawers. But collectors know better. Within those jars may be a 2001 penny that stands out for its quality or rarity. Stories of small coins selling for big money often surprise the public, but for collectors, it's the result of studying details, grading, and market trends. The 2001 penny is no exception to this rule. The penny is also a mirror of its time. In 2001, the United States Mint was producing billions of coins every year, ensuring that the Lincoln cent remained the most widely circulated coin in the country. For those who collect, the 2001 issue represents a continuation of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which was only a few years away from being replaced by the Lincoln bicentennial cents of 2009. Each 2001 penny carries with it the weight of history. It's part of a series that connects the early 20th century with the modern day, all through the simple design of a coin most people handle daily. The appeal of the 2001 penny lies not just in its beauty but also in its potential. Every collector dreams of finding that one exceptional coin in pocket change or in a roll that turns out to be worth far more than its face value. Some 2001 pennies have achieved remarkable results at auctions, where collectors bid aggressively for coins in perfect condition or with dramatic minting errors. The Lincoln cent has always held a special place in American hearts. It's a coin that represents leadership, history, and endurance, making even the 2001 issue more than just a tiny piece of metal. For hobbyists, every penny holds a mystery. And for 2001, the combination of massive mintage, potential errors, and rare high-grade examples means there is always something to discover. So while most 2001 pennies are still worth only a cent, the rarest and finest examples have reached an incredible value of $47,000. Top 5. The Lincoln penny has long been one of the most familiar coins in the United States, and the 1984 edition carries a story that blends everyday circulation with numismatic intrigue. At first glance, this coin looks like a simple cent, but its hidden treasures make it far more interesting. In 1984, the Lincoln cent had already been a part of American coinage for 75 years. First struck in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The obverse of the 1984 penny is instantly recognizable. Abraham Lincoln's profile faces right, a design created by Victor David Brenner. His beard, expression, and fine details remain a striking tribute to one of America's greatest presidents. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto, "In God We Trust." To the left of his profile, the word "Liberty" appears, and to the right is the date, 1984. Just below the date, depending on the mint of origin, sits a small mint mark. This year, coins were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, with San Francisco striking proof versions. A Philadelphia coin carries no mint mark, while Denver coins bear the letter D, and San Francisco proofs are marked with an S. The reverse of the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth. The memorial design remained on the penny until 2008, making it an important chapter in the series. At the top of the reverse is the inscription, United States of America, while the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, sits just above the memorial itself. At the bottom, the denomination is written as 1 cent in bold lettering. Collectors often point out a fascinating detail. Inside the memorial, with careful magnification, you can see the tiny outline of Lincoln's statue. This small artistic touch makes the penny unique, as it portrays Lincoln on both sides of the coin. The composition of the 1984 penny was copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams. Just 2 years earlier, the mint had transitioned away from the heavier 95% copper cents due to rising costs of raw materials. This change in composition made pennies lighter and more affordable to mint but also more fragile. Zinc-based cents are prone to spotting, corrosion, and plating issues, which makes well-preserved examples highly collectible. Even though billions of 1984 pennies were produced, not all are created equal. Certain varieties and error coins from this year have gained fame and significant value. Perhaps the most famous is the extra ear variety. This is a double die obverse error in which Lincoln's ear appears to be doubled, creating the illusion of a second earlobe. This variety is easily visible and highly prized by collectors. The double die ear penny from 1984 is one of the most recognized errors of the Lincoln cent series. Its popularity has made it a target for collectors worldwide, and it remains a sought-after treasure in numismatic circles. Beyond the double die, other errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or improperly plated coins from 1984 can also command strong attention and value in the market. Condition plays an equally important role. Most pennies from 1984 have spent decades in circulation, showing scratches, discoloration, and wear. These common coins hold little value, but uncirculated examples, especially those that retain full original red luster, can sell for impressive prices. Collectors and grading services look for coins with sharp detail and brilliant surfaces. Grading companies assign scores on a 1 to 70 scale. Coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 from 1984 are exceedingly rare, and such grades can dramatically increase the value of the penny. San Francisco proof coins from this year add another level of beauty to the series. These coins, struck with polished dies, display sharp details and mirror-like finishes that showcase the artistry of the design. Proof coins are collected for their beauty rather than circulation, but flawless examples with strong cameo contrast are especially appealing to serious collectors. The 1984 penny also reflects the technological changes in minting. By this time, die-making and striking processes had improved, but errors still slipped through, adding excitement for collectors decades later. For many people, the penny is overlooked, often tossed into jars or ignored at the bottom of drawers. But collectors know that within those jars may lie a 1984 penny with extraordinary value. the Lincoln Cent series is loved not only for its design but also for the historical meaning behind it. Lincoln's portrait reminds Americans of leadership, equality, and perseverance during the nation's most difficult years. By 1984, the coin had already carried Lincoln's face for 3/4 of a century. Its endurance in American coinage speaks to the president's lasting legacy. For collectors, the 1984 penny provides both challenges and opportunities. Finding a high-grade or error example can be difficult, but the rewards can be significant. Stories of these small coins selling for large sums at auctions often surprise the public, but they serve as a reminder of how condition, rarity, and demand create value. The joy of collecting lies not just in owning a valuable coin but also in the hunt, the thrill of searching rolls, jars, and collections for that rare piece hiding in plain sight. Every 1984 penny carries history in its small frame. It tells the story of America's economy, minting practices, and continued respect for Abraham Lincoln, and while most of these pennies remain worth only face value, the finest and rarest examples have been valued as high as $78,000.